Hey everyone, in this video I'd like to talk to you about Saint Faustina, the Divine Mercy image, and the novena Father Walsh and I will be praying starting tomorrow on Good Friday, and it will go all the way to the second Sunday of Easter, which is called Divine Mercy Sunday. So let's start with Saint Faustina. She was a Polish nun and a mystic, and who lived during the early 1900s. She received visions of Jesus, and he spoke to her in these visions, and he requested that she paint the image of the way he appeared to her. And so she spoke to an artist detailing how Jesus appeared to her. And this image right here is what came about. It's called the Divine Mercy image. And the focal point of this image is obviously the rays of light, the red and the white rays of light with which come from Jesus' Sacred Heart. And oftentimes, I get too busy looking at that before I see the rest of the image. So I'd like to take some time to explain all of the image. As I said, the red and the white, they symbolize the blood that came from Jesus' heart when it was pierced, and the water that came at the same time. And these two rays of light speak to the reality, to the truth that Jesus has given us the weapons to conquer Satan and his weapons. Satan's weapons are sin and death. And so through the waters of baptism and the healing waters of confession, which are symbolized in the white, we are able to overcome sin. And being washed in the blood of Christ, we are able to overcome death, as symbolized in the red light. Looking downward, you can see that the left foot is actually stepping forward. I actually didn't notice this until Father Walsh pointed it out. And that's to symbolize that Jesus is coming after us. He's leaning towards the viewer, stepping towards the viewer, as he says he goes after his lost sheep, and that he will come again at the end of time. But I think most striking is the expression, "Jesus, I trust in you." It's pretty easy to see that and to just equate it with some Facebook picture that we see that's like, share for Jesus or love Jesus or any of those kind of fluffy things. But this really isn't. This is much deeper than something superficial like, "Jesus, I believe in you. I'm going to have a great day." This is about, I want to give all that I have to Jesus. I trust Jesus completely, and I know that he, as the good shepherd, will watch over me and will guard my heart. He will guard me from Satan. And so that's why we say, "Jesus, I trust in you." That's why we have this here on this image, because it really encapsulates all that Jesus is trying to say. I'm here for you. I wish to protect you. Come, follow me, trust in me. And so all of this was, all of St. Faustina's visions were chronicled, were written down in her diary. And I would greatly recommend reading her diary, the Diary of St. Faustina. It is one of the most helpful spiritual books that I've read, and it helped me to understand the mercy of God. And so if you really want to understand it in a tangible way, the mercy of God, read this book. It will help you immensely. And so one of the things that she wrote down was that if a soul, Jesus said to her, if a soul would venerate this image, would pray through this image to Jesus, that soul would never be lost, would not be overcome by the evil one. And so because of that, a large devotion has sprung up. There is a feast day, as I mentioned, Divine Mercy Sunday, which caps the octave of Easter. And an octave is just an 8-day celebration of an important feast. And so obviously Easter is a very important feast. And so the celebration goes on for 8 days. And how fitting is it that the last day of Easter is Divine Mercy Sunday? This is a Sunday that we speak about how much God loves us, how much mercy he wishes to pour upon us. And another thing that's come about is the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And that is prayed on rosary beads. And what we're doing is we're praying to the Father, to God the Father, that he would look with mercy upon us, for the sake of his sorrowful passion. And that's for the sake of his sorrowful passion is a part of one of the prayers that you pray on the Hail Mary beads. And as I mentioned, there is a novena, and that is what Father and I will be praying starting tomorrow, going all the way to Divine Mercy Sunday. And what is a novena? A novena is just a prayer that you pray consecutively for a number of days. Typically, they're 9 days, and so that's, obviously Good Friday to Divine Mercy Sunday is 9 days. And there's an underlying theme in novenas, an underlying request or desire with which the person praying wants to gain out of this novena. And so what the focus of the Divine Mercy Novena is to commend the people of God to the mercy of God. It's short and sweet. And so each day we'll commend a different set of people, a different group. Some days it's priests and religious, other days it's unrepentant sinners. There's all kinds. And so this is what Father and I are going to be praying, and we would like to invite you guys to pray with us. These videos will have the same format as the night prayer videos, where the text will be on the screen and you'll hear Father and I praying along. And if they'll be released at noon every day. We'll release them at noon. And so if you would like to tune in at noon to pray with us at that time, great. Another good time to pray with us is 3 p.m. because that is obviously the hour that Jesus died, the hour of divine mercy, actually as it often is called. Or if you want to pray some other time during the day, that's totally fine. And if you happen to miss a day, don't freak out, don't worry. Just make it up the next day or extend the novena an extra day. It's no big deal. And if you forget, it's Holy Saturday and you remember, I was going to pray the novena, don't worry about it. Just start then. The point isn't that the Good Friday to Divine Mercy Sunday is hard and fast. The point is that we're praying to God. And that is all that he wants of us, is to be near to him. And this is one tool that we can use to grow closer to him. And so as always, please pray for me. I'll be praying for you, especially during this time of novena.